I believe I'm live. Lovely. Alright, let's have a look what we're doing. Oh, Mr. Gibbons was on. Oh, he was doing probably World of Warships like he normally does. That's fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's Fraser Sharp, and I'm here to relax. With some programming as usual. But this time I came prepared. I've got my coffee already made, in other words. Right. Let's say hello, shall we? And see what time we've started at. Stream. Send message. There you go. Sent a message. Yay, it comes up. 1:29. I'm dead on target. Well, 30 minutes early, really. I got bored waiting. Oh dear. So, what have I been up to? Well, let's just skip that. I have been up to quite a bit. I've been looking through Rust. Rust, more Rust and a bit more Rust. I've had some success, so we'll start with that. We'll start with Vulkan. Finally got Vulkan to work. Only took 2 days. But here we go. This is Vulkan. And let it just load up and make sure it's okay. It tells me I've got 6 typos in here. No idea where they are. It doesn't seem to mark them, so nothing I can do about it. What does it do? It builds. How long does it take? Not long, I hope. There you go. The Hello World Winit window with a triangle in it. Not bad. Even better, it resizes. Better than the OpenGL one does, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, that's all working. It looks a bit jittery to me, but hey ho, that might just be my computer. But that's what we've got, folks. We have a triangle produced on screen using Vulkan. How do you do that, Bladez? You're asking. With not too much difficulty, surprisingly. I found an example and I followed it. Yeah, that's basically all I did. So let's look at this thing, shall we? It's a bit larger than I wanted it to be. What did that... 7.28 seconds. This is something that I'm not used to. Long delays in compilation. That's a bit awkward for starters. So, this might be my last Rust video, because I'm going to show you some things today which haven't put me off Rust, but make me wonder whether I can present Rust as a viable option for programming. Because it's brilliant, absolutely a brilliant language. All of these uses, by the way, came in automatically as I typed. Because I'm using IntelliJ. That was important to me. So yeah, a bit different. Have I got 2 viewports in here? Okay. Just had a thought then. So main is the function we're looking at. All Rust starts with function main, just like C and C++. It really is a C-based structured language, is Rust, and it's very safe. As we're going to see later on, we can break that safety. So you just wait for that part. So how does Vulkan work? It works by going deeper onto your GPU, your graphics card, than OpenGL does. Why have I just got that? Oh. No, thank you. I'm not really that bothered. So, initialization of Rust. We start by looking at our graphics card and finding out what we can do. So, this is how in-depth Vulkan is. It's real hands-on, bare metal graphics card manipulation using buffers. And cats with colds. Thank you, Muppet. It's rather interesting. So we can obtain a list of extensions required to draw a window. We can do that just by asking Vulkan Win for the required extensions that it requires, basically. And the required extensions we save into this variable. All variables start with let or let mute. Anything that hasn't got mute is static and cannot be changed. Yeah. Create the instance for our application. So we set up an instance, which is an arc, an atomic raw character. I think ARC stands for. And that instance is new. We take in the app info, which is none, because we haven't got any. That's interesting. I was thinking about that earlier. We might look at that. Required extensions, layers, none, because we're not layering. So all we do is pass in the required extensions and get a new instance. That's basically it. If there's an error, we get an error message. If there isn't, instance is our arc instance, which is an atomic thingy. Right, device creation. We then go on to create our device. So I can choose the physical device to use. We do that by using an enumeration. Basically, we just ask for a device or the next available device, physical device that we can use. So no device available. That's the error. There are two devices on here, so hopefully it gets a graphics card, but I think it does. Yes, it does, because I print it out here. So if we watch the run, here you go. Using device GeForce GT 630 type discrete GPU. Okay, so that's the printout I did, just to make sure that we're getting the right device. Okay, that's that print line there. Print line is a macro, so it's got a bang or an exclamation mark at the end. That just tells me what device we're using, and it prints it out here. So that just does that using brackets to place the variables. So now we can create a window. Now we know what device we're using. We can create a window. We set up an events loop for that window. We're going to be using that obviously in the main loop for seeing where the keyboard, mouse, stuff has been used or whether the window's closed, that kind of thing. We build the new window using a build VK surface, a Vulkan surface, not an OpenGL one, which isn't obvious, but it's true. I don't know which surfaces we can build. Oh, I think it's the only one we can build in this. We use the event loop. We attach our event loop to that window, and we clone in the instance to make sure that it's in our instance. We unwrap all of that to get the surface. So now we can choose. We can look at the width. We could set the width. I don't know if we can set the title. Interesting. So it'd be surface. Dot. Oh no! Don't do the comma. Do a dot. Window. Dot. Available monitors. Current monitor full screen. Requesting redraws. The scale factor. Set always on top. That's a nice one. Set the cursor, whether it's visible, its position. Cursor icon can be set, and you can grab it. Interesting. Maximums, minimums. Title. So, what's this project? Sandbox Vulkan. Helps to say sandbox, right? Don't need any more typos. So now if I run it, seven seconds later, there we go. Sandbox for Vulkan comes up. The language is that simple. So that's what the surface does. The surface is the window, basically. You could say window there if you really wanted to, but then it'd be window.window. Okay, fair enough. I'll keep that in there anyway. Okay. Next, we ask for the thread, or queue as they are called in Vulkan. We get ourselves a thread on our GPU. So, queue family. All we're going to do is find the families that we can have. The queue that supports graphics is going to be... We're going to check that the surface is supported. And then we're going to unwrap it all or return false. When we unwrap all of that option queue family, we just get the queue family. That's what unwrap just takes the option off. That unwrap there takes off the capabilities error. So it just returns the bool. So that still returns a result, but it'll be bool at that point. So that's what that query does. Just returns true or false. Whether the queue family that we've found here, find a queue family that supports graphics. That's basically what that says. Return true or false. If it's a 1, if it returns true, then we'll unwrap it and we'll take that queue family. So there we go. We've now got a queue family. Not bad. So we can initialize the device with the extensions. I don't know what KHR stands for. Because there isn't a H in Kronos. So I'm not sure about the swap chain. I know that what swap chains are used for, that's your back buffer and your buffers. Swapping them. So I'll put that to true, but we've got device extensions here, non-extra. Create the device with all the bits and pieces. That's what we need the Q family for. 0.5. Not sure about that 0.5. But it iterates through and we clone it. Because we can't do it directly, we can't borrow it, so we have to clone it. Requested features, whatever supported. Extensions, device extension, we've already determined that here. The Q family we've already determined, and if it fails, we fail to create the device. So we've now created a device, and we now decide which Q we're going to use, which again is an atomic Q. We just ask for the next one that's available or free. So now we get into the heavy stuff. This is a swap chain, which is swapping your front and back buffers. So what we do is we program the swap chain. So capabilities, we program those. We program the composite alpha, supported composite alpha, iterate through it next to the next one. Make sure we've got the right versions and everything. We can format it for supported formats. We're not asking for any bad looks of that. Dimensions are from the surface, the window, the inner size we want. So that's the size inside any borders. Top, bottom borders, in case you've got things there like these bars. So it's everything inside of these like border thingies we get. Return the new swap chain. This is where we actually create a new swap chain with the device surface capabilities, format dimensions, the number of layers we want to use, the image usage, color, the Q, the surface transform, identity. That's just to make sure that it's not the wrong way up or sideways or anything like that, because you can have that. You can actually turn them by 90 degrees or whatever, depending on what you need, especially on smartphones where you can turn the screen sideways. The present mode is first in, first out, and the full screen exclusive is a default. Or I wonder why it's an exclusive and not exclusive. Or interesting. Clipped is true, and the color space is RGB, non-linear, and I don't know what the S is for. That's an interesting macro. Well, no, thing. It's in purple, so it's a property of color space. So there's different color spaces you can have, and you can unwrap it. Unwrap it just means if it fails, it'll probably crash. I love unwrap. And now we create a vertex buffer to hold our vertices in. This you've probably seen me do a lot of times with OpenGL. Just create a vertex buffer of 3 vertices, and here they are. Here's our 3 vertices, our positions of each vertex. How do we know that? Because we created a structure for it. That can be global, that can go outside, and so can that. That doesn't have to be inside of main. In fact, normally it wouldn't be. And to be quite honest with you, all of this, by the looks of it, I would put as a function. This to me smells like a function. And you're reading in your vertices from somewhere, because it says data. It doesn't say has to be this construct. It just wants data passing in the format that you've asked for. What if that just means single? S. Would make sense. Again, it's an iterator because we want these positions to be iterated over. And we clone them because they are static. So it's from the iteration of these. And then we unwrap it to make sure that we get rid of the iterator on the outside and just get the item. That's basically what that means. I don't think it gives it us up top. No, it doesn't say there, but there'll be a message somewhere for it. Okay, now we can go on to create the shaders. This was interesting because I've used version 450, which is OpenGL 4.5, which isn't on this machine. 4.4 is, but not 4.5. So I don't know how the hell it's doing this, or where 4.5 has come from, but it's doing it. That's wrong as well, because GL position doesn't exist in 4.5 or 4.6. Oh no, we've got up to 4.6 on here. Sorry, my bad. I just remembered. So that's wrong. But is still allowable by the looks of it. And all they've done is put the source into a string instead of into a file, read it in instead of reading the file into a string and then placing it in. That's as a source. That's all the differences. You could replace this with file open read in. File open read in for your fragment shader if you want to do it that way. Then all you've got to do is declare that your VS and your FS are shaders and we want to load them. Reason for this is your shaders at compile time are read in and compiled alongside your binary. So your shaders become part of your binary. At runtime, those binaries become something else that Vulkan actually uses. Those binaries are run by this loader on the device so that it becomes shaders upon the device, which is your graphics processor, your graphics card, that the graphics card can use. And at that point, they aren't any longer in memory and the graphics card is in complete control of them, and this will clean up as well afterwards, thank God. So we're done with shaders and we can create the render pass. That is a fantastic way of doing shaders. That's very simple. People say it's complicated. It's not. It's a very simple way of doing it that is not complicated at all. There's a lot being done for us here, which is probably why it takes 7 seconds to compile it. So let's create a render pass. Now, normally in OpenGL you would just say draw or draw elements. In Vulkan you don't. You could actually create the render pass, which is an atomic render pass arc. So we have to create it. Vulcano single pass render pass. Okay, well that obviously can be more than one pass. That's a macro. So we clone it, and the attachments, color, load clear, storage, and format, swap chain format. Have we made the swap chain? I think we did here, didn't we? Yeah, there's a swap chain, so we've made it. So this is where we actually use that swap chain in the render pass. And samples equals 1. The pass does color and uses a depth stencil. So no depth stencil attached is indicated with the empty brackets. So there's no depth buffer basically on this. It's just plain splatter it onto the screen. Just an example. Let's get on with it. Now we can create the render pipeline. Now this is where people start thinking it's complicated because OpenGL does all this for you. And it's not complicated at all. It's pretty sensible. We can create our own render pass. in our own way so we can optimize this for ourselves and our program. In this case, we don't need the depth buffer and everything, so we're not using it. And our pipeline is obvious. It's the graphics pipeline, so we start it. We add a vertex input single buffer, because that's what we decided. Vertex shader, triangle list, because it's in triangles, in threes. Viewport, this is what goes into your draw command normally. Viewports, dynamic scissors are irrelevant, we're not using it. The fragment shader we decide to use, and the render pass we decide to use. Then we build it all together and unwrap it into one thing called a pipeline. So graphics pipeline. Now, every time we resize the window, we have a dynamic state. The viewport, I've also added a function at the bottom for resize as well, that gets automatically called. It's a callback. This is the dynamic state. So we're not going to interfere with the dynamic state at all. Create the frame buffers, the back buffer and the front buffer. So there's two of them. It's dependent upon the window size, obviously, and the render pass. And it's mutatable. Dynamic state. That's there. We said it was mutatable, but that's what we need it for. And that's your initialization done. That's it. All done. People say it's complicated. It isn't. The things that people don't realize is that it's exactly the same in OpenGL. But the only thing you don't see in OpenGL is the last 3 bits, where this is actually OpenGL resize function. This is the OpenGL initialization function, where you do OpenGL init, and this is where we then use it. So recreate swap chain equals false. At this point in time, we have to set it to false to start off with, otherwise it'll be a bit of a mess, as the graphics card will start without us. Previous frame end, some sync it all up with the device, and it's a boxed information, so it's held on the heap. That's all that means. All your data's on the heap, or on the graphics card, but it's device cloned. Not sure where the data is. Oh, it's GPU future, so it's on the GPU. So the data is now on the graphics card, someplace. That means box means someplace. It's a box. It's in C and C++. It's called a page, a memory page. When you use alloc, memory allocation. So that's a similar kind of thing of allocating memory on the GPU in this case. Then we start the event loop. This is your main event loop for running the program. Well, it's pretty obvious because it says run. We use an event handler and control flow. Trying to remember where we got the control flow from. It's not the pipeline. It's easy just to click on it, isn't it? Is that? I think that might be external. That either is something we've already done. Let's have a look here. Oops. I don't remember setting it up as a variable because I usually remember mutables. Got the swap chain that's mutable, obviously, because it has to change. The buffers have to change. Nah, I don't think. I think this is something that it sets up for us. That means there's an unused variable. That line there. Not sure what it is, but we can find out. So it's event loop window target. Oh, so all we're doing is letting it target the window. It's just taking itself. And the control flow. See the control flow docs for more information on how changes to mute control flow impact the event loop's behavior. Any values not passed to this function will not be dropped. Okay. Right, so what we do is then we match our events. People using SDL will know what this is all about, or GLFW, where you poll your events and you decide on what your window events are. So there's a close requested, which we would then set to control flow exit. Event window event window event resized. So there is an event for that. That will send us to the resize stuff. Again, the control flow will send us there. Recreate swap chain becomes true because we're now going to clear the screen. Previous frame end, blah blah blah. Recreate swap chain for drawing with all of these bits and pieces. New swap chain, frame buffers, recreate swap chain equals false, so it doesn't keep doing it. And basically just let the image, well, suboptimal, I like that, acquire future. This means we want to wait for it before we swap it. Before we can draw on the output, we have to acquire an image from the buffer, well, from the calculations it's done. If no image is available, which happens if you submit draw commands too quickly, then the function will block. I thought so. So it will wait for your image. If it's one that it's already had, it's out of date. Right, okay. Fail to acquire. That will panic and crash. If suboptimal, recreate swap train equal true. Clear the values. Let the builder begin. Because we did say we're going to recreate, didn't we? Yeah. And then builder. So begin the render pass, unwrap, draw. There it is. There's your draw command. Finish building. Wait for your future. And when the future's okay, that's it, done. And that's all there is to it. All this cloning of boxed is to do with your swap chain and swapping your buffers. The helper function that I mentioned before is window size dependent setup. This is a special function which it will run every time the window is resized. So that's why it looked a bit jumpy, I think, because it has to recall or backtrace to this. And all this is doing is supporting the dynamic state and the images that we see. So it just creates a new arc for the frame buffer. Resizes the frame buffers for the window. That's it. There's nothing I haven't seen before in there at all. So to me, it's exactly the same as OpenGL, except we can now look inside the OpenGL commands a little bit. That's all, and decide more upon what we want to do. What do I think of Vulkan? Simple. I can't see the complicated part of it. I know this is only a simplistic, let's draw a triangle on the screen, and it's like 489 lines long. But if you actually were to count up the commands, remember, that's one command. That's the return value. That's a command. And that's a command. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you were to divide this by about 5, then it's 4/20s, which is 100, which is the same as OpenGL. 100 lines to draw a triangle. It's exactly the same amount of time. Oh no, I've got all these comments in, haven't I? So it's probably less. If I was to put these into one-liners, it would be pretty small. I could try a refactor on it, but I don't want to because I've got this in a style that I can read, so I'm not going to do that. And that's pretty good, actually. The only thing it doesn't say in here is, oh no, it's OpenGL that has versions, isn't it? We're not using OpenGL. We're talking to the graphics card direct. And that's the difference. Now, OpenGL, on the other hand, is even worse than this, unfortunately. So, what's the pink one? Oh, that's what I'm highlighting. It was there, used before, but never mind. What's the green one? I wonder if it's this CPU and GPU stuff. No. No, you failed me. First time that this has failed me. To tell me where these things are. So I'll just do a rebuild of that. This is not acceptable. That's the only problem I've got with Rust. I know why it's happening. It's because it's doing at least 5 layers of debug information it's creating when compiling. And it also has to go through all of the dependencies for this to compile it. And the dependencies are well, I'm using Volcano, which is a library. I'm using the shaders from that library. I'm using the windowing structure from that library, which depends upon Winit and Image, which are 2 separate libraries, which we've downloaded as well. So there's an awful lot of dependencies. Now, that does create a little bit of a problem, but even so, it's not that bad because you can see what you're using. So we're using the standard library, we're using the Winit library. I can't see the image library here for some reason. I think it's hidden. Yeah, the event loops Winit, and the window is Winit, and that will be the image in there somewhere. So where are we getting image from? Let me just have a look at these lines. Control F, image. There it is. It's a swap chain image. Which I find interesting. So where are our buffers? Create swap chain for drawing. Oh, we've got loads of these. That's coming from Volcano itself. So I think Volcano's using the image. Yeah, image using. There it is. Image : usage. Describes how an image is going to be used. This is not just an optimization. If you try to use an image in a way that you didn't declare, a panic will happen. Okay. Because it's having to use a different thing, yeah. That's just a function. Okay, let's just have a quick look down here. That's the storage. Hello there, Mr. Smurf TV. Do I know any good... Yes. YouTube. Let's have a quick look. Let's just have a quick look on here. See what we have. Let's see if I can find it. I'll find it for you. It's okay. I wasn't being funny. What do you want? Node.js. Let's see if I can find him. Mosh is good. The Learn Code Academy. Traversy. Oh my god, he's still around. That was a year ago. There is a beginner's rubbish. Yeah, programming with Mosh. Learn Node.js full tutorial for beginners. If you want to learn it from beginning, I would go to the free code camp. There's another one somewhere. I can't find him. Damn, what's his name? It's not in here. Ah, there it is, the coding train. That's him. This is the guy. This is the guy you want to watch. Go to the coding train, and you get rid of these adverts. No, this is the perfect place. The coding train, right? Go to the site, click on that icon here, the coding, or find it. Yeah, got it. Stop. Treat, and if you look under playlists, there is loads and loads and loads of things. Nature of Code is fantastic. That's all about bits and pieces. All playlists. Don't have that. You want created playlists. Sorry. That will give you everything. Watch out for that damn thing. It really does mess me about. Node.js. There is some very, very good stuff in here. And so there's JavaScript, which is JS. So we'll be using Node.js in there probably. There's all, oh, he uses P5.js as well quite a lot if you want to try that out. That's actually easier than Node.js, but it's the same thing. It includes it. It just sets it all up for you. So here we go. API bots with Node.js. There's tons and tons. I mean, look at how much this guy's done. So there's tons of stuff. His P5.js stuff is fantastic. Arrays, functions, there's tons of stuff in here to look through. And it just keeps going. So, yeah. Right back in history. So he actually looks younger in that video. But anyway. That's one of the resource sites I would look at for Node.js and anything to do with JavaScript, really. Are books worth buying? Yeah, this guy's book. And this guy's book is called The Nature of Code. It's free on the internet, and you can download it as an ebook. If you look up The Nature of Code on the internet, let me just go back to my home. We'll skip that bit. Nature of Code. It's a book. There you go, PDF. It's by Schiffman himself. That's the guy in the picture. And here's the book. Who don't know who she is? That's a dedication. The whole book, Kickstarters, preface. All the alternatives, and part 1, inanimate objects. And it's all done, how can you put it? In a way that can be used anywhere. So it's just the nature of code rather than just saying, this is Node.js. This is how you code it. This is the ideas that you would put into code. Once you've learned a little bit of Node.js and you're happy and comfortable, this is a fantastic book to look at. So random walker classes, vectors, normalization, forces, Newton laws of motion, and it's got all the maths bits and pieces, how to do particle systems and stuff like that, and the physics libraries, Box 2D. Wow, he's got that in there, has he? And this has all come from the channel. So yeah, 519 pages. There you go. It's a big book. But that's after you're happy. You can buy that on eBay, the physical book, or I don't know if you can order it directly from his site, if you go to Schiffman's site, or look him up. But yeah. No, you don't have to read all 500 pages. No, it's a reference book. When you're programming and you want to know some maths on how to do something, you just dip into the book and find out how the maths works, and then you can program it. I would have found it invaluable 40 years ago. Not today, I wouldn't. But most of the stuff in that book I've experienced, found, or it's happened to me along the way that I've stumbled into it. I write my own maths libraries now. It's as simple as that. Rust. If you're learning Node.js, are you doing this to learn it for a career? How did I get into coding? I started at a very early age, before C was born. The only language we had at that time was Basic, yes, Basic and Assembler. So I used to program in Basic and Assembler. No, for hacking. I used to be a hacker. That's how I started in programming. They can't prosecute me now for it because I think it's been over 25 years. But I'm now on the light side. I'm no longer on the dark side. But when people have a go at me and try and hack my computer, I do, especially with viruses, I do send them back to the originator. I don't keep them anymore. I used to collect them, but I don't anymore. Yeah. So yeah, my first programming experience was hacking a game called Elite, which was first released on the BBC Model B microcomputer, and £1.5 million in sterling was spent on the security, and we hacked it in 20 minutes and copied it, which was supposed to be impossible at the time. So yeah, that was my first experience of hacking and the power of assembly language. It's more than funny. Obviously, the hack we sent in to the people who made Elite to show them how we did it, and we sent the copy to them as well. And said we wouldn't make any more copies, obviously, and they were thrilled, absolutely thrilled. Can't remember the payout on that one, but hey ho, that's what turned me to the light side, I think. Anyway, reason I am not doing Node.js today. You guys were bailing out. No. We were helping them out, really, I think. Ah, wait a minute. I've now got squigglies. I found some. Okay. So whilst I've been talking to you, squigglies I found. Oh, there's only one left. Bugger. I'll never find it. I will one day. Oh, wait. Oh, no. No, nowadays I don't even bother with the hacking side. I must admit, it's become too easy. There's too many vulnerabilities, especially when you're talking about things like Node.js. Because if I'm right, you're talking about server programming and web programming. Anything to do with a web page, it's too hackable. Oh, if you're doing it for fun, yeah, go to the Schiffman's site, yeah, the Code Train. If you're doing it for fun, go watch YouTube, the Code Train. Just pick anything that he does and just watch it, and he will show you how to program for fun. That guy really is impressive. He's better than me. I'm just a relaxed programmer who's learning this to improve my coding. And it has done, funnily enough. It's shown me a better way of programming. Or can I say, it's reminded me of what I used to know. No, that's fine. If you're not planning on a job, don't worry about it. Do it for fun. That's what I did. Always have done. Sort of, nearly. Except for the work for Rolls-Royce and the other bits. But anyway. That is Project Vulkan, which is, anybody who knows Vulkan says, oh, it's dead hard. I don't. Close project. Alright. Let's have a look at Amethyst. Now, this is where I might go on a rant. I'm only going to touch on Amethyst for about it's going to be 10 minutes. I'll load it up. Okay. This is my Amethyst project. What does it do? Anything? Let's find out. There you go. Opens a window. That's all it does. Okay. It is in Vulkan again. I don't have the back-end layering. Doesn't really matter. That's irrelevant. Those are only for debug purposes, and it doesn't matter, as I know. This hides, Amethyst hides the Vulkan. Amethyst is a massive... How can you put it? I'll show you. It's easy to show you. Let's show you what amethyst is first of all. Okay. This is amethyst, which you can set up. Actually, no, this is a bad place to go for, isn't it? Right, this is the Rust Are We game yet? 3D rendering... No. Game engines. It's game engine, Amethyst. So, the Amethyst game engine, it's data-driven, data-orientated game engine aiming to be fast and as configurable as possible. It uses the back end of Vulkan. And all I have here, this is my whole program. I'll show you my whole program. It nearly fits on a page. Okay, just to open a window, that's it. I use Amethyst. I use a struct called myState, which I don't do anything with. I implement a simple state for this structure, which has a function on start, and that's all it does, nothing. Literally nothing. And I have a main that opens a window, and then game.run will run the main on start business. Okay? So basically my program will revolve around these two functions. And it runs quite fast, you might think. Now, what happens if I make an alteration to this file? And this is where the rant comes in. So let me just put this back up. So this you can make great games, 2D, 3D games out of. What I'm going to do is ask it to recompile exactly the same code. Alright, all I'm going to do, and I can cheat, I'm just going to put space in my code. There you go, one space has now been added to my code. Shall we try and run it again? Okay, I've got a cup of coffee whilst we're waiting for this. Are we still waiting? It's still compiling my code. One single page of code. Come on. Are we going to get there? Do you think it'll do it? Will it build? Will it not? Have I made an error? Have I not? Well, I know I haven't made an error. I've got a tick in the top right hand corner. Yeah. There we go. Done. Yeah. Now this is bad. I don't have any C++ build times. All of mine are below 10 seconds. That took, it tells me here, 51.44 seconds. That to me is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Now, I know Rust hasn't been out for long, and I know that these libraries are like the first wave of libraries that have come out for Rust. And this is one of the most developed, the oldest library, and it's quite well advanced. It's very advanced, in fact. And there's a lot to it. If you look under dependencies, it's actually got features. So Metal, by the way, is for Macs, the Mac OS, Vulkan on Linux and Windows, and it's cross-platform. Amethyst is in version 15, so it's been out for quite a while, and it's got fantastic manual and help guide, examples, fantastic if you've got the time. I'd love a Mac. I'd love a Mac. I really would. I can't afford one though. So that was one page of code. I am not willing to accept that. 51 seconds for a compile. Any compile time has to be below 10 seconds in the language that I use. All of my C++ loads in, compiles in under 10 seconds. There's no withstanding size. Size is unimportant. I can have 1,000 lines of code and it'll still compile in under 10 seconds. On Windows or Linux. This is on Linux at the moment. Well, Manjaro, Arch Linux. Actually, do I still have that? I don't know, it might be under my thing about below this video, below on the video page about where you can go and have a look at me back stuff on YouTube. I am porting all of these videos to YouTube at the moment. There's an archive. So that's, as far as I'm concerned about Amethyst, that no longer exists in my mind. I haven't learnt it. I don't want to learn it. Close that project. Now, that was Amethyst. It's been on video. You're not having that code. It'll take your lifetime to create some code in that. That leaves us with OpenGL, Volcano. I like OpenGL. OpenGL's fun. IntelliJ is free. It's on here. There you go. IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition. If you're on Windows, look that up on Google, download it for Windows. I would advise you to do so. It supports Java. Actually, let's just go through IntelliJ a minute. Let's see what it supports at the moment for me. Just close that project, we'll come back to it. IntelliJ, you've asked me about it, so create new project. I have currently got Java, JavaFX, Android, Maven, Gradle, which are Java thingies. Groovy is a Java thingy. There's Kotlin, which is a Java thingy. I've got Rust, obviously. If we go cancel, configure, plugins. We also have Scala. What the hell's Gradiento? Oh, it's color scheme. Education tools. Cuba. For the Cuba platform. Cloud. The Pepper SDK, what's that? Oh, robot applications in Android Studio. Wow. There's Gopher. Yay. Golang. Scala I've already mentioned. I don't see Node in here. Try just JS. There's JSON. JS, graphical, what's this? GraphQL language support, including tag template literals in JavaScript and TypeScript. Feature highlights. Interesting. Oh, there you go. JavaScript toolbox. Oh no, you don't have to pay for it. No, you don't. I'll show you. One sec. Let me just cancel out of that. Let's go to Windows. Just one sec, we'll just pop over to Windows. Main view. Okay, this is my Windows. Which is currently looking at something silly called my monitoring. Can we get that on screen? Yeah, we can. Oh, wrong keyboard. Okay, go to the website on Windows for professional thingies, and all you do is download, and that's the one you want there. Community for JVM and Android developers. Download exe, free, open source. There's your download button there. Okay, that's on Windows, and it looks something like, have I got IntelliJ? Yes, I have. See here. There you go. IntelliJ IDEA Community in 2019.2. It'll probably tell me to update it because I haven't used it in ages. Oh, it's struggling. Come on, you can load. Whoa, sugar, that's a bit big. Yeah, I don't think you want it that big. I was obviously doing some programming here. Yes, I was. Let's just bring that size down, shall we? And here you go, exactly the same program that you saw before. Oh, that's okay. I don't believe I've got any alerts on the stream, have I? Just let's see. No, I haven't. It's okay. I'm monitoring it from a different machine as well. So, exactly the same system. There you go. So yeah, Windows. That's Windows for you. Capture please, thank you. Can I go back to my other? I like Linux better for programming. Right. Right, OpenGL. Here we go. Window game. No, I'll program on Windows and show you how to set things up in Visual Studio if you ask me to. I don't mind Windows. I just don't like programming on Windows. I don't think there's any good programming IDEs, and I don't think there's any good programming editors except for IntelliJ on Windows. In fact, IntelliJ is the only one I think I would use on Windows now. The problem is that it doesn't do C and C++. That's called Sea Lion, and that costs a fortune. It's from the same people, and I can't afford it. It's a monthly subscription, just like Windows Visual Studio is. So yeah. Right, let's have a look at OpenGL. What have I got going here? Anything? Alright, I didn't see anything. Anything running here? Can't see anything. There is a main loop, and there is an event for quit. So somewhere on my screen there should be a window. Ah, it's not. Try again. Nope. I think it's crashing, whatever it's doing. No idea. Dependencies are SDL2 and OpenGL. And it should work. And it doesn't. That's great. That's my next problem with this. It doesn't always work. No idea. Run. Process finished with exit code 0. Which means it's not running at the loop. Fantastic. So this is using SDL2 anyway, ignoring that. Complete failure. Window width and height, none. Blah, 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 blah. I've probably altered something in here, but I've got a tick. Interesting. Which means that the program's doing exactly what I told it to, which is nothing. So all we do with SDL2 is create your context for OpenGL. Then you can use GL. You load up OpenGL 3.3 commands here. But, and there's a reason why I won't be doing any OpenGL in Rust. It's what you have to do next. And there it is. I think that's what's stopping it from working, actually. Is because I haven't told it can be unsafe. Yeah, to use an OpenGL command, that's GL clear color if for anybody who doesn't know, you have to be unsafe. What's the point? What's the point in using a safe language if you have to be unsafe about your graphics? So the whole point of using Rust is so that you can't misuse the language. Unsafe means you can, because that's a direct call out to a driver, and the driver cannot be guaranteed, so it becomes unsafe. Fantastic. Calls made to an external driver. External calls are considered unsafe by default. Bladez. Great. And yeah, so I'm not going to be using that. I've had a really good day, haven't I? Close project. This means I've really run out of projects. Anybody want to suggest one to me? What does this one do? Anything? Yes. This is something I came up across on Raylib. The Raylib is, again, a 3D engine. Let's see what the compile time is on here. Let's compile it. 53 seconds. Well, that was slightly better than the last thing that we tried, but 53 seconds, that's actually not bad. Problem is this big white blob in the middle. Okay, you're probably wondering what the hell is that all about? Well, that big white blob in the middle is an OBJ file that I've got called Suzanne. Now, let me just break the OBJ file. When the OBJ file comes in, res models isn't there, the actual file path. I had to manually add that. So I'm going to break. That's what it comes as. That's how it looked when I got it. Okay. So save that out. Now let's try and build it. No problem. No problem. Let's try and run it. You might notice that big white blob's gone. But there's also another problem. Okay, the big white blob's gone. You can see the box that I've drawn. The test box for me texture test. And, well, yeah, there's some messages down here. Here we go. Mesh uploaded successfully to VRAM. Warning. Res model Suzanne.object. No materials can be loaded. Default to white material. So where is it? I've asked it to draw it. Where is it? That's interesting. This is actually quite an easy language, Raylib. I like it. But it's just failed. I mean, basically this is let monkey model equal a model, load it up, unwrap it. Let the texture equal a texture, unwrap it. That texture I've used for the box. This has its own MTL file. Here. Which again I've altered. That came to me as that. That's how it looked originally. So I got that initially. Alright. Do I play any video games? Yes, if you want me to. I like World of Warships. Naval action's good. My mouse has stopped. Thank you, mouse. Yeah, nice FPS. I know. So yeah, just get a handle. Where am I drawing this model? Here we are. So it should come up with a grey default. So if I now what my frame rate? Oh god, you don't really want my frame rate. My frame rate is awesome. So that is in res / models. Right, so place that one in. There we go. It's back again. Down here though, it says the image loaded successfully. But there's a warning. Image could not be loaded. Texture could not be loaded. So what's going on here? What's going on with this? I put it at the center of the universe and yet it's stuck it in my face. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not overly chuffed about that result, so I'm not continuing with that one either. So I've run out of ideas there. Node.js you want? Oh, I've got more FPS than I need. I get 60 FPS no matter what, really. Doesn't bother me. FPS is just a number. I've never encountered those glitches and I need to get a drink. Just bear with me. Oh dear. There we go. I've got a big load of black bubbly burpy liquid. That'll do, mate. Right, so let's skip that. Come out of that. Let's have a look. First of all, Node. What do you need for Node.js anyway? Complete set of emojis. You want npm, if I remember rightly. Package manager for JavaScript. Okay. Better install that. Let's choose a password. One of those will do. Yeah, that'll do. Thank you. Projects. And that'll do, mate. Okay. For a minute or two, anyway. So, what do we got? Can this be made bigger? Yeah, good. Yeah, CD projects. And code dot. Oh, okay, this is code. Believe it or not, it's from Microsoft. Everybody tells me that it's an IDE. It's not. Don't believe them. It's a text editor. That's all it is. Let's see if it's got Node.js on here. It's got debugging support. Okay. Documentation, yeah. MIT, thank you. VS Code extension to view Javas. What? View JavaScript module documentation in editor. Interesting. That is interesting. No debug is the same as that one there, but that's 142, that's 144. Okay, there's different styles. Snippets. Is there not an NPM in here? Support for VS Code. Extension supports running npm scripts defined in the package JSON and validating the installed modules against dependency defined in the package. Running npm and is not run when the modules are managed by Yarn. Oh god. Yes, that's right, Yarn does JSON files. Not overly keen on that. Commands available. Ah, that's more like it. Start, test, publish, run. Yeah. Catch you in a bit. That's interesting stuff. Let's get rid of this horrible colouring. Let's go Tomorrow Night. Oh, that's better. Alright. Awesome stuff. How does Node.js works on a server basis? So, oh, that's right. I wanted a drink. Here we go. Interesting stuff. Alrighty. Just lower that a minute. Let's have a look on here. The latest version of this article. This was March the 10th, 2018. I'm not going to the AUR. Through NVM. No. That's interesting. Put NVM installed and then NPM. It is not uncommon to need or desire to work in different versions of Node. A preferred method among Node users is to use NVM, Node Version Manager. Okay. Alright, I don't want alternatives, I just want to have the most latest, thank you. NPM is the official package manager for Node.js. It can be installed with the NPM package. I've just got Mr. Smurf TV is following. I've just got my notification. My God, that took a while, Twitch. Well done. The official package manager, yeah. Managing packages with NPM. Profile. Update packages. Okay. Why would I want Python 2? Does not support Python 3. Oh, right. Great. Missing dependencies. Okay. Alrighty. Looks like fun. Can I get hold of this window or that window, please? Any window will do. What do I need? GCC for C++. I don't like GCC because that's got make and CMake, hasn't it? What about Qt? Creator. I haven't got that. Okay. I don't want either of those two. Okay, let's try that. One available update. Well, thank you. Let me just get this in first. What we just run into? Firefox. Bloody Firefox. Why do they use Firefox? Who uses Firefox? I don't. Unless I have to. If anybody's wondering why I don't program in JavaScript, it's because it's messy. Number of different files doing different things in different languages. Bit iffy. And a server that's not secure. They don't teach you how to make the server secure, I guess. Maybe that's the problem. Not sure. I use Chrome. Ah, bless. Get the capture card back on. Oh, all of a sudden my system's back up to date. Yeah, that's my bin. So Firefox wasn't a problem. Make your goddamn mind up, Firefox, whether you are or you are not. I don't know. Right. So now under development, what have we got? Qt creator. Pop you in here. Chrome is not as good as people think. It's not as bad as people think either, funnily enough. Oh good, this is Qt Creator. I remember this. bring it back across here, shall we? No thanks. Tools. Options. Environment. We'll just restart that. Thank you. Qt Creator is one of these lovely, lovely, lovely things. It provides you with Qt, which is okay. In fact, it's a fantastic library for doing anything in. Do I want to use it? That's a question. Do we use Qt or not? Or shall we just do C++ and have some... No, C. Interesting. I've got C++, I've got C, I've got QML. I don't... Well, it's got XML as well. And we do have Python in here somewhere. God knows where. Should you learn C++? No, you should learn C before C++. Actually, I haven't done any C in so long. It's untrue, so I think that's where we'll go. But I want the C++ features, so I'll use Qt as well. But without the Qt core. Yeah, we can do that. I can set that up. Build and run directory, current directory. Okay. Project directory. Right, we'll have that. No, I'll do C. But I always have C++ in the background because nowadays it's so easy to have the extra C++ fallback stuff as well as C at the same time. It's silly. It really is silly. So we'll have projects. The first thing I'd do is get Qt Creator and I would set it up on the build and run. Qt Creator, as you just saw, was free to download. Didn't take me long. I literally just installed it whilst chatting to you. No, I'm happy with that. Oh, wait a minute, default. No, it doesn't matter. Whoa, no, don't want this crap. Sorry, this stuff. Whoa, get rid of your default builder. We will have build, B-U-I-L-D. That's a better one. I can read that. Okay, that's applied. Yeah, that looks okay now. Anything else I want? Stupid thing is I'm not going to use the Qt Creator after this. Application output. No. No. Compile output. Doesn't care. That's for Qt Creator. QMake, please. That's what I'm after. What Qt Creator brings with it as a package is a thing called QMake. Now, if you're used to using CMake or Make, QMake is a variant of CMake, which is used for compiling projects. Don't need to do that. don't need to do that. Don't care because we won't be using it. Okay. Right, so that's set up. All we need to do is make a C project. Other project. That'll be a C project. Empty queue make project will do it, I think. Could use that console application. Yeah, I'll use that one. Into projects, use as default. Oh, God, cancel. I know what I have forgotten. Environment. Keyboard, external tools. Okay, who's stolen this one? Text editor, no. C++ possible. File naming, there it is. Suffix H and CPP, yeah, we'll use those. Lowercase file names. Remove. Apply. Okay. Now we can do it. Choose. I want something called sandbox. Projects. Use default. Next. QMake, yeah. Language, none. Desktop. Build, yeah. That'll do. Git. And finish. There you go. Let's just make sure it all scans through. Alright, that looks good. Current project. Local repository, that's the one. Let's do a commit. Git ignore sandbox and main. Yep, description. Oops. There we go. That'll do for description by me at virginmedia.com. By the way, that's my email address if you need it. fraser.sharp@virginmedia.com. Commit the 3 files. Done. And close. Alrighty. ls. We now have a project called Sandbox. It's in whatever I choose it to be. What pudding? What's the problem? You're looking at me suspiciously. Do you want food again? I've got 3 cats and they all feed at the different times. So I'm going to go into my sandbox. And we're going to play in here. It's on a Git master branch. Good, thank you for that. And I will play with you in code. Not found. Code. That's better. There you go. So I do not like using IDEs for C or C++. The IDEs, although they're good, I'll show you what they do. They will take over. Marketplace has extensions that can help with dot profiles. Okay, search Marketplace. Qt for Python. Yeah, right, we'll have that. We'll install that then. Okay, that's done. Maybe it'll stop complaining now. Get out of it, Python. Get out of my face. Oh, look at that, eh? Pretty colours. IDEs. Look at what it's done. Okay. It's added two defines. Well, possible of two defines. I'm not going to be using Qt, so all of that has got nothing to do with me. As you can see, we're using C++. Not anymore. Qt minus GUI. Can we go a bit further? Minus the app bundle, yes please. Okay, default rules for deployment. I guess we can keep those if you really, really want me to. Done. We will need a lib. Maybe. Right, we're in C now. Actually, I did want the backup, didn't I? So I will put in C++. We're past March. It's been released 20. We'll have. That's now available to us. Just in case we need it, but I'm only going to use that as a backup. Otherwise, that's fine. Also, all of this Qt stuff really isn't needed for C. Do I want to keep it? All right, we'll keep that a minute. We'll show you what it does. I don't want to do any of this. Just a 0. That's better. That's a C. That's the C program. That's what it looks like. So we've got a profile, and we've got main. The profile doesn't add anything to do with Qt. In fact, it takes it away. Why does it seem impossible to you? Because it's a way of thinking and it's not a language. You can program in any language. I program in something called English, as you're about to find out. That's my language of choice for programming. What it looks like in one of these things is anybody's guess. All you've got to do then is convert it into the language of choice that you have to use at that time, like Node.js or C or C++. It's all the same. What this main does is tells the compiler and your computer where to start processing your program. So when you compile this into machine code, it will look for the main and it will flag that as the start of your program. Really? That's basically all it does. And that's what main does. So you need one. The int before it means that our main can return a value, which is an integer. So I've returned 0, which means we're going to count that as a success. 0 sounds good. I'll show you why in a minute. In fact, I'll show you all the way around this in a second or two. Then you've got main, which is a function's name. Then you've got the variables it takes in, which are 2 system variables. You don't have to take those in for C. I can leave that as void. That's the old way of doing it, the original way of doing it in the 80s. Nowadays, you would just do that. It'll even accept that now. Yeah, you don't need... But I wanted to show you what they did, so... Oops. Don't want that bit. There we go. Go back to that. And that's basically it. And that. Now you can write a C program. The only trouble is you have 15 commands in C. 15 commands. Shall we go and look at them? People don't believe me when I say that, but it's actually true. C programming language. I just want the wiki. No, 15 commands is so few that people don't realise how simple this bloody language is. Okay, syntax, character set, reserved words, there they are. This gives you all the reserved words for C. We're using C11. There's 1989, there's 1999, and there's 2011. All it does is just adds a couple more words. That's all. Okay? The operators are, as you would think, plus, minus, times, and all the rest of it. And that's the whole language. Reserved words and operators. You look at any other language, God help you. And that's as complicated as this language is. So we have auto, which we don't use. Break, which will break you out of a loop or break you out of a decision. Case will be a case in something called a switch. That's like an if, like it'll take a true or false case, and you can have many cases, and it will decide which case you should go, path you should go along. Char is a character. Don't believe this. Why is char and double? But char, hold on a minute. Char is the same thing as, yeah, okay, constant value. Continue around a loop. Default. Nothing really. I can't think of anything you could use default for. Do, a do while loop. That's a variable type. Else, if else. Enum type, an external type, a floating type. For next loops. Go to someplace. I don't even know how to use that command. Interesting. I've never used it. If, very useful obviously. If, else, then there is switch and case, the two good ones. That's a variable type, that's a variable type. Register. Deprecated. A declared variable in CPU register. No, we don't use that. It's deprecated, so you can throw that one away. So we've already thrown away go to, default, register. Return returns you from a function. Short is a type. Signed is a type. Size off is not a type. Size off will get you the size of something, a type. Static will make things static. It's a reserved word controlling both lifetime and visibility. Don't worry about it. Takes a bit to explain. Struct is a structure instead of a class. Is class not here? Oh, it's not in C, it's C++ for a class. So there's structures we can have. Actually, in C, are they public? Yeah, I think of the public. C is easier than Node.js. Nope. I'm just going through the reserved words. I haven't even started on the heart of C, which you're going to love. Because C uses libraries. Where was I up to there? Struct. Yes, switch statement for the cases. Type def, define a type. Union, the union between the inside of a struct with another struct, inside a struct with another struct, that kind of crap. Unsigned, variable type. Void means nothing. Volatile, don't use. While, something, and then it's just a loop, a while loop. That's it, that's the whole language. Yeah, right, so we've been through the C language, we've learnt that. C is a language dedicated, well, C is the language that Node.js was made out of. Or written in. So C is used to write other languages. C is used to write systems and operating systems. And cat's crying. No, you can't program C, love. You can go and have some food, though. What language should you learn? Stick with your Node.js, mate. Go and watch some videos on YouTube about it. Find out what's fun for you. What you do is you decide upon a project and then you decide what you want to do. My project in C currently is going to be reading text files. Okay. So I'm going to set that as my project goal. There we go. That'll do that done. What else can we have? No, that'll do. Right, so let's just show you around main. I could probably do the whole project in main. I don't even need to go out to it, I don't think. Possibly. Yeah, meow. Okay, so I mentioned the libraries. Yeah, I know. I'm going to actually, I'll sort the cat out and then we'll do some library. Well, we'll introduce our first library. I think that's only fair. So let's take a break, and I don't have anything to put on screen, so I'll shout it all out to you if you can't. There we go. There you go. Be right back. Gonna sort the cat, grab a coffee. How about that? Come on. Come on, you. Ow. No, you got to move as well. Yeah, you. Come on. we're back. Oh dear. Oh. Let's get rid of that. Right. I suppose we'll do an intro to C. C is a functional language, which means you write functions. You can call them what you want, and you can build up your functions into a big program. That's the idea of it. So start small, work your way to the big stuff. That's the trick with this kind of programming language. So let's start with a library. Let's introduce a library into the mix. Include. And we will have stdio.h, and we can't because it's not there. So, where will we find it? That's the good point. Where will we find it? Terminal. No. Run. Go. No. Run. No. View. Command palette. Let's have a look in here. Config. Display language. Preferences. Configure language specific settings. Yeah, we haven't told it what language we're using. So, let's go there first. C. What's this one? C and C++ for Visual Studio Code. C#, no. That's JavaScript. Sorry, Java. No, it's not. Possibly is. Good grief. Code Runner. What's Code Runner? Oh, running snippet code, no thanks. That does them all. Let's have this one. Is available. Would you like to switch to the insider channel? Don't show again. No. Okay. Looking good. Right. Now what have we got? Configure. Here we go. That one. C, C++, edit configurations, JSON. Okay, that adds us a file. And it tells us what we've got. Yours might be Windows, but mine's a Linux. Sorry about that. Workspace. Include path. You know, I don't know. Not really thought about it before. It'll be user include I think it's all in here. Oh, ooh, lots of header files. Ooh. MLPKF. Looking to see if it's got it in here. If it has, that's my path. There it is. stdlib, stdio. So user include / user include. Okay, thank you, that'll do nicely. So comma / use usr / include, and anything you can find in there will have. That'll do that. And I'll also take as the first parameter I want 1 to go above it, and that will be same directory as the one you're in. Okay, that gives me everything there. Hello Muppet, another one of our cats has joined us. This is Ace. I'm now surrounded by cats. That will help, I think. Do I need anything else in here? Defines? No. I'll have GCC. And I don't want clang. I want G. Okay, IntelliSense mode. It doesn't know what to give me. Okay. I will have that one. I'll also have that 20, please. C11. Yeah, looking good. Defines. No, I don't want any defines at this stage. There we go, that's that set up. Now I should be able to go hash include, and it gives me how to do it. Open brackets, and I should be able to do std there we go. What's stdio2? Not quite sure. Just look them up online if you need to. This gives us the ability to do a simple command. Well, a lot of commands. And they're all in the namespace of the standard library, or std. That is the standard library. So if I type in std : we get nothing. Great. So it's got it in it already. Alright then. Printf. Yeah, it's got it here already. That's fine. This is going to be welcome to the sandbox for C. New line. Let's see, next one. Let's do a proper welcome. So I'll start with a new line to get an extra space, line space. Can you please stop putting things up on my screen so I can't read it? Comma. No. New line, and then we'll introduce you to the first couple of keywords that are useful. So for. Integer. I'll call it index. What? Stop tapping on there, you plonker. God, cat equals 0, whilst index is less than, and that's a star argv, so that's a pointer. Is that a pointer to a pointer? Let's try it anyway. Argv dot nothing. Dereference it. Got nothing. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's just argc. Yeah. Now we can use these curly brackets. Muppet, can you get off my arm? Thank you. I need it for typing. Okay, cut. I don't need that. I can just put /n so get a new line. I can double the new lines on that, that's fine. And between these brackets, what can we do? We can print f command line argument equals, and it's going to be %s, small s, I believe. And then we're going to have to tell it, let's split these lines off. White space doesn't matter in this programming language. That's got to have a semicolon on it. Comma, and we'll want argv index. There we go. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, we've still got a star in there, char star argv, that'll get a string. String is s. It's been ages since I've used printf. Hope that's right. So that's that lot. This is printf, by the way, is in stdio.h. Might tell us. No. Okay. Const char star, restrict and format. Does it tell me here what the formats are? No, it doesn't. Thanks. I'll try that. So this I'm hoping will fail miserably, so I can show you debugging. That would be ace. I haven't quite decided on this yet. Are we going to keep CPP for C++, or are we going to knock off the P's and just use C? It'll recognise either. It'll treat them both the same. Doesn't matter. Okay. Right, so what do we need? A folder. We'll call it build. That's where our executable will end up. That's our build directory. We'll also need a file. which I'm going to call build.sh. You call it build.bat on Windows. You call it build.sh on Linux. I haven't a clue what you would call it on Mac. There isn't any resources to learn. Yes, there are. Of course, there are. There's tons of resources out there. You just got to be patient. So here's our build. What I'm going to do is I am going to change the directory into our build directory. I'm then going to ask qmake, which should be available to us, to go and find out what's in that profile one directory up. Remember, your slashes are the other way around on Windows. Poor Windows. It doesn't matter, it'll work either way. And then all we do is we run make. If you haven't got make on your system on Windows, good luck. Yeah. Look it up, Google it. You'll find out how Windows helps you to program. It doesn't. Unfortunately, on Linux, you can't just do that, because anybody could come onto your system and do that. Luckily, I'm the administrator of my system. And as the administrator of my system, I can go into Projects, Sandbox, look at the properties of build, go to Permissions and tick is executable. On Windows, you're gonna have problems. Sorry. I'll do it on Windows for you if you want me to, but I only about 50% of the time I get it to work. The other 50% of the time I just completely fail. Even I fail on trying to set Windows up. I end up just using Visual Studio 2019 as it is at the moment. So I've asked it to build, but there is a problem. I haven't told this text editor to use build.sh. So back to the command palette we go, and we want to build C++ build and debug active file. No. Task run build task. I know what I'm going to do then. I'm going to go for default. Tasks. Configure. Default. We'll click on that one. Default build task. Here we go. I want GCC, because that's what I'm using. There we go. Comes up with this lovely thing. It's on the window. Shorten that one down a bit. Type, shell, label, build sandbox. I have a tendency to alter everything. Command, GCC, arguments. Base name, no extensions. Do I need all of that? Really? GCC, are you playing silly games with me? You are. Options, problem matcher, GCC, group kind build is default true. That's correct. There's something missing here. And I don't need those arguments. I want GCC to do what the hell it likes. I just want it to build. We can backspace that one even more. Whoops. Thank you. Backspace it to that. Alright. Let me just pop over to my server. I'm not really bothered which one, I suppose. Pictures, templates, videos. Documents, could be. No, that's an ECS system. This one will do. Yeah. I can't look at them here, can I? I'll take Amber Skies and I shall place that in not idea projects. Projects. Create a directory. We'll call it archive. And I'll just borrow you. I think you might have the things in that I need. Hope it hasn't got the Windows version. Soon find out. What are we looking at here? Tasks.json. Show hidden files, please. There you go. Let's have a look at this. Match it to what I've got. Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. That's just a basic one, but it'll do. So the command is wrong. The command should be that one. And it's which slash are you using on yours? / Okay. Oops. Let's pop you in here. Which one should I use? That doesn't matter. build.sh. That's why I made it. That should run everything for me. Run build task. Yay! It worked. There we go. Creating stash file, yada yada yada. G++, minus, yeah. Reentrant debug, yeah. Linux, main.cpp, int main char star star. I thought it was a double one. Expected a semicolon before closing brackets, so I've missed a semicolon. Semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. Which semicolon are you looking for? Number 9. Ah, yes. There. I never told it to increment the index. Plus, plus. That's where the name C++ came from. But it's not C++, it's in C as well. All that does is take index and add 1 to it. So let's try the terminal again. Oh, wait a minute. Just clear that. Thank you. Should put autosave on there. Oh, that's going to bite me. Run build task. There you go. It worked. I'll just take a terminal, please. Actually, no, I won't. No. Bin it. Don't want to be in there. Because I want to show you what's happened. Here we go. So, cd ... ls. We've now got sandbox. ls. It now has all of these things in here, but in the build directory, as we've just run a build, we now have sandbox. So we have the main object files it used for building, the make file it created for us from qmake, and sandbox, which we can run. And watch it crash. There you go. Welcome to the sandbox for C. Command line argument /.sandbox%. Correct. If I were to... Actually, we could do with this extra /n after that. So I did get my program right. That's good news. Terminal. Build. Blink. Done. Yeah, that's the kind of speed I like. Back up here, however, we now have... Let's put... this is a test. So now you know what that argv and argc do. It records what is entered in on the command line. So you can pass variables in to sandbox. Why would you want to do that? Well, Bladez, I can tell you the answer to that one. What happens if you want one program to talk to, say, another program and run another program, but with an option that the first program has decided it wants? You can pass the variable. And as you can see, I've just passed 1, 2, 3, 4 variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's automatic. So if I miss that one off, that's what it does. If I miss that one off, that's what it does. And if I don't put any in, it just records the fact that I ran it. So the first argument, or argument 0, index of 0, is always the command that you have typed in. That gives you very, very interesting ideas. That's a simple program that shows you exactly what main is used for. Main is used for either taking nothing in. You just delete that lot and it'll just ignore the argc and argv. It'll just completely ignore them. Doesn't matter what people type in, it'll just completely ignore them. Or you can ask it to take those values in, and this kind of thing can just like print it out back to the command line. So that's your simple I/O, input and output. Input, we can let's see, char star message equals, I'm used to doing this, std in no dot, no, it doesn't work this way anymore, equals there we go, get line. Right, this function is not part of POSIX and therefore no official cancellation point. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Up to the new line or carriage return. Get line, restrict line pointer, yeah, blah 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 blah. File, restrict, stream. Good, that'll do. Does it return? Yeah, it returns a size T. An S size T. What the hell's an S size T when it's at home, please? Does it want something? Oh, don't tell me it wants message. Argument of type char star is not compatible with parameter of char star star, so I want one of those. 2 brackets on. It is now. Yeah, that's right. An initialization with blah 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 expected for aggregate of object. Interesting. I've not used getLine in an absolute ton of years. One second. We'll take you off. We'll take you off. We'll get you on a separate line. Do I really need the brackets? What's wrong with you? Incomplete type. Uh, 225. Thank you. Complete type now. Too few arguments in function call. Comma. Size T. Comma. And stream. Wow. So it's message, comma, 255, comma, STD in size T. Oh god, size T, size T. Oh, can't you just take ... like everybody else? No, you can't. You can't refer it. No. Can't defer it, determine it. Yeah, funny. I'm used to get char and put char. Read a character from STD in. Okay. Oh, we've got to put it somewhere, haven't we? I don't think we need all of this 255 bytes for it, though. Oh, we do. 255. Initialization, blah blah blah, expected for... Oh. Oh, for God's sake. Oh. Equals now. A value type int cannot be assigned to an entity of type char. Interesting. That can. Will that actually wait? That's what I'm thinking. Very simplistic, but it might do it. We haven't got any message. Damn, let's put a message in. I will have \n, please. Sorry, no it isn't. It's press any key to continue. \n. I've done my \n wrong. Escape characters, please. And brackets, please. And then tidy the program up. Right, let's tidy this up, this mess that I've made. Dun 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 dun. Why is this so slow in working it all out? What's wrong? Ah, yeah, that's wrong. There we go. That's you done. I would have spotted that straight away if I could read it. Which is why I put things on separate lines so I can damn well read it. That one's okay. That's straightforward. That's okay. I can read that. Good. Right, I can read that. That is now a big, big, big program. Remember how long they took in Rust? 50 seconds or so. So now it'll print out the command line arguments and press any key to continue. That's the idea. There's the build. Variable message set but not used. Oh, right. Don't care for now. That is a good warning. That means you're being wasteful, and that means that program can be done a different way. That means you don't need all of that lot. Just need that. Okay, save. Run build task. There we go, no warning. Simple, really, when you think about it. This is what Rust has taught me. The over-programming an item can lead to more problems than just trying to do, or overthinking something can lead to more problems than just trying to do the most simplest way of doing whatever you're trying to do. So if I now go to here, and just give ourselves a bit of room, and that is that. There you go. Press any key to continue, and we're out. So now you actually have a running program, but you now can see how you can hold that program up with the press any key to continue. Press any key to continue was the standard way of starting a game in the old days. It used to have the title of the game showing this beautiful scene or whatever from the game with, at the bottom, press any key to continue. So that's your intro scene. That's interesting. Now, obviously we can get stuff from here, which is your command line. What about how to read a text file? Does standard I/O have what I think it has in it? Well, the first thing to do is to find out what's in the library. Discard, I don't care. Thank you. So to find out what's in the library, C program. Oh no. I'm just going to put stdio.h. Functions. Okay, what we got here? I don't like the fact that I've got it on a weird website. Oh dear, that was a bit too big. Thank you. No, I don't value your website. Here's a reference. We'll have a look at the reference manual. Oh, for God's sake. Please don't do this to me today. I can't get hold of this. Here we go, that's better. Got it off the page. Come on, I can get it, I can get it. My hands are bad, but not this bad. Okay, you're not going to give it me, are you? That'll do. Right, C libraries are all here. So those are all your libraries, your standard libraries. And the functions we have for... Thank you, Muppet. I'm glad you've got a cold. Don't look at me like that. You're the one that sneezed all over me. God. So as you can see, we've got put char, get char, which I was just using. We have f write, f read. Read a block of data from stream. Interesting. F reopen. Isn't there not just an F open? So we don't want standard in. I want files. What is F reopen? Reopen stream with different file or mode. I'm not sure I want that one. I think that's the one I want there. Open the file whose name is specified in the parameter file name and associates it with a stream that can be identified in a future. So we need a file name and a const char star mode. What modes can we have? We can have read, write, append, read, update, write, update, append, update. So I just want to read. So R. Okay. Sky TV, really? So let's, well, we'll carry on from there. Read a text file. Where are we going to put it? It gives a file star back. File name and associated with its stream that can be identified in the future. Operations by the file pointer returned. So we need a file star. Okay. I think we can do that. Let's see if we've got it. So read a text file in. So there it is, file star. It says it's a pointer, so if you don't know what a pointer is, don't worry about it. A pointer just means a memory address. That's all it means. We're going to put we're going to call this memory address file in. Okay. We can do it all as one operation, stuff that. Equals f open. And we are going to open the file main.cpp. Will you get out of me? Why? Look at that. That's now covered the whole of the text. Well done, Microsoft. Come on. Stupid. That was what it told us to put in there, so that's what we'll put in there. And now we can put that. Now that in itself doesn't do anything. I just want to split the line down for my readability, not yours. Yep, that's right. God, in C it looks a lot better. So, we've opened a file. What can we do with this file now that it's open? Well, we can read it, but what into? And I can't see the TV because I've got a cat sat in front of it. Oh my God. I'm having a great day today. I'm programming in C, a language I haven't programmed in 30 years, and there's a cat sat in front of me blooming TV. Come here, you. Come on. We'll get that out of your way, see if you want to lie down. He's giving me a funny look. Come on, love. Oh, you sneezed all over yourself, did you? Oh, that was clever of you. Alright. I would like to see the screen, though. File name, right. The operations that are allowed on the stream and how these are performed are defined by the mode parameter. Open a file for input operations. The file must exist. Well, I hope it does. Otherwise, it's just going to give an error of some kind. We'll find out about that after. C string containing the name of a file to be opened. Yeah, okay. So we're now going to take, oh God, F get S. Okay, we have to check for a null value. That's the first thing. So if I can just open brackets, can't I? If filing is equal to null, null pointer. It said null in there, but it's actually a pointer. That's interesting. Okay, I understand. Null. If it equals that, then what we're going to do is the following. We are going to printf unable to load the file specified. Semicolon. And return. I use 99. Okay, so exit the program with the number 99 as my error code. That's my personal error code, so I should really say error, which is how I do my errors. That's personal preference. Oh, just only fitted on the screen as well. We should exit. Can we exit? No, we can't. That's interesting. So we have to return a value. And at the end of this, we will need to use a file close of some kind. So yeah, it's just fclose file, right? Okay. So before, oh, there's no close there because it's null. That's for starters, but F my memory is useless. Fclose. Is this seeable on your screen? I've just realised. Oops. Control. No. Plus. That's better. Let's make this a bit bigger. Is that more seeable? Let's get rid of that. So this is the main program so far. Reading a text file we are developing. And what we're going to do here is file in. Semicolon. That's correct. Except I would put it like that. There. Go away. If you're wondering why I do that, it's because all my notes go on the right hand side and all my code goes on the left hand side. You'll understand when you see some of my files, don't worry. They are full of notes. Like this one will be when I finished it. At the moment all I'm doing is simple notes. I'm not really putting anything in. So fclose file, right, okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to tab in close file when finished. All right, magic. So that's just a reminder to me to close my files. If you don't close your file, by the way, it stays open. And that will lock your file, meaning you cannot access it. And because I am accessing main.cpp, that would be a bit embarrassing now, wouldn't it? Because I wouldn't be able to continue programming. So how are we going to get the information out of it? Well, we've got a clue here to fput. So let's have a look back here. As the cat starts meowing again, what are we on? Oh no, it's half an hour till your tea time, love. Sorry. You're going to have to wait now. Yeah. So if there's fput, it must be fget. Char star fget s. Char star str. Int num file. Okay. Get string from string. Reads characters from the stream and stores them as a C string into str until num-1 characters have been read, or the end of the file. Or either a new line or end of file is reached, whichever happens first. Okay. So I'm going to stick with my, well, 255 is a bit large for C, but it is an accepted length of line by most people. So I think I'm going to keep with that. So it's just a char, not a char star. Ah, okay. So, char. What are we going to call it? Line. Current line. Up to 255 characters. And that's allowable. Good. I'm glad it isn't giving me errors on that, and I don't need to doobre it. So we want to okay. So what I want to do is read it in. That's the first steps. Give me some space here. No, give me some space here. What are we using? F read. It returns a char star, so it's current line equals F get S. No, it's just F get S. God. I want to equal everything and it isn't. It's just F get S. And that's going to be current line, comma, int n is going to be up to 255, comma, and file in. Is that correct? It says it is. Yeah. Now I want to loop through each line. So while, open brackets, F get S, that is not equal to null. Get rid of that. Put that there. Print F. This is where I'm going to get it wrong, isn't it? Will it read the end character line? Will it return a line or not? Because all I'm going to put in here is %s, comma, current line. Do I need a return carriage? Well, there's one way to find out, isn't there? Terminal, run build task. Okay. Command line. Get on with it. Unable to load the file specified. There we go. Now, why was that? Let's have a look what I specified. I specified main.cpp. Now, that's a good point. Okay. We are not running it from here. We are running it from the command line. And it's in build. Here, sandbox. And main.cpp is in the directory above it. It's not in the same directory. So that's possibly why it can't find the file. So if I put .. save. What is this build thing here? Control Shift B. Let's see if it works. Control Shift B. Oh, that worked. 12. Let's see if it works now. There you go. It's read in the whole text file and printed it straight out to the command line. So that's how you read a text file, all the basics of it. Very simple, isn't it? Can I do an ls minus al? That's 16K, so it's got C runtime built into it. So that's 16K of information in the sandbox file. Now, if I was to write that in Rust, let's have a look, just out of interest. Oh, can we get rid of these silly file things? Don't want all my hidden files, thank you. Let's have a look at that simple OpenGL one. So target, debug. Remember, this is the debug for C that I'm using. So it's got debug information in there, which we haven't tested yet. We have to test that. There's a sandbox. Let's just have a look at the properties. And that is 5 megabytes for a single page. And this is 16K for a single page. But we haven't tested out debug. Command line. Commit. Blah 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 blah. Always. Thank you. Right, that's you done. So I'm compiling this with full debug information and warnings. Oh, wait a minute. Qt no debug. Oh, well, that's fine. I don't want Qt's debug. Do I need to put something on the command line for it? Shouldn't do. So what do we need to do? We need to use this here, which is run and debug. Opens a file which can be debugged or run. To customize run and debug, create a launch.json file. Okay. We'll use it for the gdb/lldb. Good God. We've only got C++ options, so we'll have that. I'll have... which one shall I have? I will have GCC. That one. Pre-launch task. That won't work. Because our pre-launch task is that one. Build sandbox. That's what it's called. So our launch task here is replaced with that. Right, GCC build and debug act. So I'm going to call this debug sandbox. That's its name. It's going to be a CPP debug, request launch, and it's going to be, let's get this right now so it works. Oh. Sorry, oh god, please, not today. I really can't click things properly with this mouse sometimes. It's me, not the mouse. Don't you worry. I am disabled, so bear with me. I'm gonna replace that with that /build/ and it's just called sandbox, isn't it? The file. Arguments, no. Stop at entry, I don't want you to. CWD, you see, this is where the CWD comes in. It says current working directory. So now I have to go back to main and get rid of that for it to work. Because our current directory will be back into here, which is a workspace folder. I'm not going to put /build on there because that'll just be stupid. Environment external console. True. Will it close? Don't know. True. I'm going to have an external console. Stuff you lot. GDB, yeah. Set commands. Pretty printing. GDB, yeah. That looks roughly about right. Let me just check to make sure I haven't missed anything. So back into projects and archive, Amber Skies. It's in this directory, isn't it? What are we on? Launch JSON. This will only be a basic one, but it'll do. Workspace, yeah, yeah, that's right. Args faults, yeah. Oh, well, I did put it into client, yeah, that's right. True, yeah. My mode GDB, pre-launch task build, yeah. Stuff that, yeah, it looks about the same. Yeah, looks good to me. Let's try it out. So it will build, or it will build before it runs, shall we say. So there's a little run button here, because now it's called debug sandbox. Okay. So all we do is click on that. There it goes, it builds it. And nothing happened. Property expected in tasks.json. Oh. I'm not running, am I? No, I'm not. That shouldn't be here. Oh, wait a minute, yeah, workspace. Workspace folder, yeah. My bad. Okay, let's just stop you. Thank you. Okay, something happened there. It's running, but where? I don't know. So I've come across this problem before with this, and it usually comes from the instruction External console. That's why it was false. Okay. So if I'm right, I did put it as console. Maybe it's not supporting the console properly because of the way I'm doing things. I don't need to run that. There we go. Debug console's come up. That's good. So this is the debug console, which means we are in debug mode, GDB, as can be seen. What else we got here? All the symbols have been loaded. That's good. The terminal will show me, welcome to the sandbox, command line argument, blah, blah, blah. Press any key to continue because that's what it's supposed to do. Output has been picked up. Can you get off me? Oh, it's you standing on the keyboard, isn't it? Yes, okay. Muppet, I know. You want to stand on the keyboard. That's okay. So in the terminal, we can now press any key to continue. There we go. It prints out all of this rubbish. I should really have done that first, shouldn't I? Prints out our main. Welcome to the sandbox. Press any key. Project goal, how to read a text file. Blah, blah, blah. Just prints it all out. Because it's a text file. Return 0. Does it properly? Yeah, that's good. All works. I am... And that's... Has it closed properly? Has exit code 0. Yeah. But you noticed that I had to redo that one line. That ... dash. Remove it. So if I'd have left it in, this is what would have happened. Okay, there we go. Press any key to continue, and there you go. Error, unable to load the file specified. Really should have that as a full screen, I think, for this one. Interesting. Alright, so back to normal. But I want to check that. And the mouse stopped moving. Hello, mouse. Are you still in? Yeah. It's a little red dot you can put here. Down this margin. Now if I run debug. Okay, we haven't got there yet. It just ignored it. Great. Supposed to be a breakpoint you'd work, but I've got to get the debug working on this because I haven't done it properly by the looks of it. So there is something I do need on the command line or in the profile. Is it a define? I think it is, you know. It's not coming up. Is it debugging capitals? I can try it. Now will he catch it? Nope. There's something here that causes it to output a debug. And it's not doing it. Yeah, it's not doing it. That's okay. I'll think about that one because there is a way of doing it that's very easy and I've forgotten. off the top of my head how to do it. But it goes in there, and it's not that line, so I'll get rid of that. Is it part of the configuration? I'll look that up as well. Okay. I'm happy with that, actually. Setup, debug, but no, break points are not working. We'll get that working next time. And that's it. Nice. There you go. That's how you program in C. It's not hard, is it? Really? You just look it up in the manual and follow the manual, if need be. I'm going to look through my notes on especially Sandbox Pro. But no, the main file's fine. That's a C file. And as you got hash include stdio.h, you can make your own header files, and that's the whole point of C. And I'll show you how to build your own language out of C, which is exactly the whole point of it. But that's how you program in C. You start with the very basics. You program at a very, very low level, which is directly with... I'll get rid of that breakpoint for now. Directly with like the standard library, or you can use somebody else's library, like SDL2 is written in C. So you could import that library. We can get Windows up and running in a jiffy, literally, by just initializing SDL2 and asking it to open as a window, which we might do. GLFW? Don't know. I like the GLFW one, but that's more C++, isn't it? There's SFML as well. Don't know. Think about that. Well, yeah, I think that's brought back a few memories doing that, I must admit. My God. Out of interest, if you're wondering what that file is there, it's binary. So that's what it looks like. So all you can see... Okay. Hey! It's the Linksy Cat! Can you express this in elementary functions? Sum for all I in n. Oh my God. No, I can't. Not off the top of my head, I can't. There you go. I've answered your question. That's good. At least I'm honest. Nope. Why is there a word wrap on here? That's the binary. So you can see how big the binary isn't. It's 11 lines long. And you can see the words, the assembly. This is all assembly language, and then you can see the characters that we're using in here. So that makes it obvious. I could show you the same on how the assembly for language for that, but I don't know. No, I don't want that. That's a load of cobblers. Go on, Sir Linksy Cat. Have you got the elementary functions for that, or are you asking seriously that I try and work that out off the top of my head? As far as I've got it, I've got to e to the power of -1 to the power of I minus 1 times e to the power of xi divided by I to the power of 2. You have no idea if it can be. What would you need a function like that for? What does it do? Just out of interest. because that's an algorithm. Ooh, Just Eat's saying, have you got any food in? No, I haven't. Do you think I better contact them and get me some food? What's the algorithm for? It looks familiar in some way. The -1 to the power of I -1. That looks like a probability. Integral of 1 plus e to the power of x. Yeah. That's an interesting one. That's way into the maths books, that one for me. That's slightly further than I go, unfortunately. I don't use anything like that in the maths that I come across. 1 plus e to the power of x, what would I use that for? No idea. So, we've been doing some C-Linksy. Look, C programming. Isn't it ace? There's a language that I started in 1985. Yeah. This has taken me back to my childhood a little bit. Well, say childhood, my teens. Wow. And at that point, I've got 2 minutes before the cats start eating me. So any last questions before I dash off to feed these cats and find out whether Just Eat's going to deliver me some food tonight? Otherwise, I'm going to starve. Well, that was actually easier than I thought to read that text file. But now we have to store it. And for that, we'll need some kind of vector, I guess. So, any last questions, peeps? Oh, stretch. Good to see you, mate. Oh. You should have seen the beginning of the stream. That was fun. Looking at Rust, the Rust language. I might continue this, actually. But I want to fix the debug on it. I can't remember off the top of my head how I did that. So I will have to go and look it up, which is a damn shame. There we go. That's C in the Microsoft code. Works on every single machine out there. There is no operating system specific code there. It'll work on anything. That's what I love. So there we go. Right, in the meantime, oh, I left something open. Whoops. In the meantime, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from the cats. I want you all to take care and be safe out there and have fun. Now, where's that stop button? It's in that corner of the screen over there. There's the mouse. Got it. Got it. It's alright, we're doing it now.